so this is your third charcoal drawing that you're doing today. So, again, we're going to start drawing lightly your basic layout of your landscape. This is going to have a pond or a lake in it with some partial branches of trees coming in and some grass. So, we need a horizon line in the background. Now remember, you draw lightly. I'm going to draw a little bit darker so you can see it. Try to use the side of your pencil when you're drawing so that you don't leave an indentation. Okay. Then, so this is all going to be lake in here. And then I'm going to have a tree branch coming in here. And I'm going to have another one coming in about there. I have one tree branch coming in here. And then I've got the edge of the lake. Kind of comes through here. Down here. And then it comes back up into there. And then I've got a darker section here of grass. Comes down there. And that's all we're going to draw right now. So let's get started with our charcoal. Remember, we start with the sky. So our sky needs a very light value with your compressed charcoal. And then go ahead and smear it, because remember, blurred goes to the back. And you can smear with either your finger or with the Kleenex, whichever you like. And then I'm going to put in some tall grass. I think I'll do that with the vine charcoal. There's some tree-like things here. I'm just going to make them different heights as I go along here. They're kind of shorter along here, and they scribble up and down. And cross into past my horizon line a little bit, because I don't want them exactly right at the horizon line. Otherwise, they don't look like they would sit on there. And I'm going to take up a little more room on here. They're going to get taller over here, these trees. There's a whole tree line back there all the way across. I'm going to make this taller still. I want these nice and tall. Now, they don't need to be solid, so I can leave some spots showing through. Okay, so there's my tree line. Now I'm going to do the water. The water, I'm going to take my compressed, go side to side right now, kind of like the direction that I want my waves to look like they're going to go. I'm going to fill all this in with compressed. Not real dark, but it's going to show up pretty good. And then I can smear some spots, like it's kind of smooth off in some areas. And then I'm going to take my eraser and try to get some light areas like they're reflecting. There's some reflections in there. I get a clean spot because I'm not pulling anything off now. kind of make it look like it's streaked, like it's reflecting some light from the sky. Okay, then I want to go in with my charcoal pencil and put a few reflection lines of dark in there. Just kind of randomly put them in. There's no specific spot that I want them. I'm trying to avoid my white areas though, because I don't want those in there. I want my white areas to be white or light. Okay? And then I'm going to reflect these a little bit, so I'm going to put these in. They're going to show up a little bit in here. This would also be like buildings. If you drew buildings in the back, you could do this too with reflecting. And then just blur it a little bit, because in reflections they're not quite crisp. They're usually a little blurred, like they're in the water. Okay? Now, that's your water. Next, we're going to start building up this area here of grass, because you want to do the grass before you do the branches, because you want to be able to see the grass behind it. So we're going to do this fairly light. I'm going to take my compressed, and I'm going to go on top of it over here, and I kind of lose my line a little bit of where my branches go, but that's okay because we can draw them back in with charcoal later. I'm going to smear it. And that's just going to be a smooth area. I don't want to do any details of making it look like texture right now. And then I'm going to take my compress here, and remember, details come forward, so I'm going to make this look like grass. I'm going to go, sorry, I'm going to do that so we can actually not have that squeaking noise. So I'm just going to scribble in some grass. This section is darker. Notice I leave some white spots, because remember, white comes forward, and this doesn't need to be solid if it's grass representation of grass. So you're going to have some light areas and some darker areas in there. Not all going to be the same value. Then behind that, I'm going to take my vine charcoal, and I'm going to do vine charcoal back here as scribbling up and down, making grass-like sections. It's a little bit lighter, goes behind it here. I let some of the vine cross into some of the darker that I did with the compressed. I'm going to get kind of a rough edge here in front of the water. I'm going to bring this all the way back here. Make sure when you cross in front of the water that you get a little bit of some jagged edges here. You don't want it nice and straight, nice and smooth. You want jagged to look like it's grass, kind of tall grass. And there's a section in here that's a little bit darker, so I'm going to just kind of take my charcoal pencil now and put a small section of dark in there. And I'm just going to smear this that goes back a little bit. I'm going to smear up and down, because remember, smearing goes further back, and I want it to go in the same direction still. And then I could take and just put a little bit of details in there, a little bit more. Just very gently put some lines in there. Get them to flow into that a little bit, a darker area. Now, the water needs to look like it goes behind. I got to go a little bit darker. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker in there for the water with my compressed. And if I kind of lose my edge of my grass there, I'm going to take my vine. I'm going to go back over it just a little bit. Okay. So we've used smearing, we've used the vine, we've used the eraser, we've used charcoal pencil, we've used the compressed, and we're still not done yet. We have to finish our foreground. Our foreground are the trees that come forward. We'll do that next.